And welcome back to Daily Wrap. Let's read some of your viewer comments. Last night, we asked you if Donald Trump was right to nitpick over the Today Show using the CNN poll over their own NBC poll to make Trump look bad. To recall, CNN poll had Trump dropping 8 points. NBC monkey poll had him up 7 points. Yet they led with the CNN poll on their own network, which Rayshawn says, well, it's obvious that NBC is part of the drive-by media. Where'd you get that saying from? They would rather show the CNN poll over their own because Trump dropped in the CNN poll and he gained in the NBC poll, as we just mentioned. Okay, good stuff.
Hard to argue with. Debbie says the majority of the media has been down on Trump. They have called him names, picked on every word out of his mouth, and they gave him much tougher debate questions than any other candidate. When has anyone in the media ever applauded Trump? And I'm laughing because we kind of do here. And he has brought up some great subjects that deserve applause.
Okay, let's transition because it's right off the press, right here from Rayshawn, who says, if this was a conservative pope talking about gay marriage and abortion, I could hear the left saying separation of church and state. I'm so sick of minority, liberal, left-wing nuts of America representing me, conservatives. So, on the Pope, by the way.
He's got a point on that first part.
He does, the second part. The second part, not the first part.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. What we didn't get to talk about too much was his trip to Cuba before he came to the U.S. And I know you had some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think that comment makes a lot of sense, actually. Everybody's being something of a cafeteria Catholic, as it were, picking from what we like and what we don't like out of this Pope. But the Washington Post sort of accused him of giving succor to the Castro regime, and I think that's sort of a fair criticism. They might not want to arrest the embrace of Catholicism that's going on in Cuba, but one of this Pope's predecessors, John Paul II, when he went to Poland in 1981, he made a very strong point of giving dissidents a lot of hope and of sticking a needle in the eye of the Soviet Union, and that lasted. I think that's something that this Pope it's a legacy this Pope hasn't valued very much.
That's a good point. Go ahead.
Just to follow up on what I was saying, what I agree with that commenter is we do pick sides invariably. If this Pope was more conservative, as he says, yeah, the liberals would be jumping all over him, and now conservatives are jumping all over him because they see him as liberal. Why can't we just recognize that the Pope is not a government leader in the sense of a president? Let him say what he wants to say.
He is, though. He's the head of state.
He's the head of state of the Vatican. It's not a world power, let's face it. It's not what it's not. We look to him for something else.
How many divisions does the Pope have?
The people who are standing on the streets are looking to him for none of these reasons.
That's right.
They're looking to him for hope and love and
right.
a lack of fear.
Cable news likes it for ratings. And
well, yeah, we play with it because we get to do this about it. But, you know, the guy's a good man. You know, yes, I may agree with him more than other popes, but I always respected other popes, too. Their purpose in life is a pretty damn noble purpose.
Okay, so. Cardinal Rick Unger. Moving on, the Duke says the media are completely biased and unfair. For years, they've been trashing pro-American candidates. I've stopped watching Fox and have become to Newsmax because you, Joe Concha, seem pro-American and fair. It doesn't say that. Fair to Trump, too. I think we're fair.
We call like the other commenter that we are fair to Trump.
I think we're just fair in general. I think, honestly, if we could come back on me for a second, and Rick could get camera here as well. We see a story. We call it like we see it. There's no meeting beforehand like, what are we going to do to make this person look bad or good? This is all candid, unfiltered, and we thank you for watching. Ricky.
And we also have some comments on Ben Carson. Richard says, I was quite disappointed in Ted Cruz and Carly Fiorina, stars in my opinion, who criticized Ben Carson for his opinion on a Muslim president. He never said or even implied that a Muslim president wouldn't be constitutional, but both Cruz and Fiorina, especially Fiorina, acted like he did.
Okay, and Daniel says Islam is a form of government as well as a religion. This is why you hear the phrase, quote, the Nation of Islam. It drags with it Sharia law. Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam could have explained this if you did not shout him down, Unger.
Have you seen Jonathan Gilliam? Nobody shouts down Jonathan Gilliam, so I don't know about that. But this person is obviously agreeing because Angelo says, I think Mr. Unger, please call me Rick, is missing the point. It is not an issue of prejudice concerning the subject of voting for a Muslim. It is more a concern for Sharia law coming into being. That would be unconstitutional, yes or it would, as well as un-American. I just want to say this quickly about that. You're right. And that's precisely the point. Our Constitution sets up our system of laws. In fact, we have one state in this country that does follow a different system, right? Louisiana, civil law, which is based on French law. Ours is based on English law. So that's the whole point. We're not getting Sharia law. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Quick jump in.
It's too much.
Okay. She knows where to pick her battles. All right. Well, remember, if you want to weigh in on any of the issues we talk about here in the show, be sure to go to newsmaxtv.com/comments. There it is. And let us know what you think. Also, as the Pope's historic visit to the United States continues to dominate the headlines, more and more Americans are asking, who is Pope Francis? As always, Newsmax got you covered. Learn more about Pope Francis and his humble rise to the Vatican in the book, Francis, a Pope for Our Time. Get this special offer right now at newsmax.com/pope or call 1-800-203-7047. Up next, it's happy times. Time for Yay or Nay. This is the Daily Wrap.